In 2024, a lot of people are upset about wild cards. It all started with Venus Williams getting wild cards, and people were saying on social media that Venus is too old, young players deserve wild cards instead. Then Blanche got a wild card in Miami. He lost in the first round. He played pretty well. Then Blanche got a wild card in Madrid and got destroyed by Nadal. 0-1, and all of a sudden people started complaining, why would you give a wild card to such a young player? Now fast forward to the French Open, and Diego Schwartzman and Dominic Thiem, who are retiring this year, did not get a wild card for the main draw. They had to play qualifying. They both lost, so this is their last appearance at the French Open, and people are upset because Diego and Dominic did not get a wild card. So I want to share my opinion on wild cards, and it's in the word. It's a wild card, so the tournament can give it to anybody they please. And when we talk about Venus Williams, it makes sense that a tournament would give Venus Williams a wild card because she can sell a lot of tickets. A lot of people want to see a great champion play, regardless of the fact that she might not have a chance to win a lot of matches. When it comes to Blanche, he is managed by IMG, and the tournament in Miami and the tournament in Madrid is owned by IMG, and it makes sense that they're going to give wildcards to their players. The same can be said for federations. For example, the French Tennis Federation gave a lot of wildcards to French young players, and they also have some agreements with other federations where they exchange wildcards for the Grand Slam tournaments. So it makes a lot of sense that the tournament can pick and choose who they want to give wildcards to. However, in my opinion, I think the French Open messed up big time by not giving Dominic a wild card. I can understand why they didn't give Diego one. Diego made one semifinal in 2020, but Dominic has been one of the best clay court players in the Big Three era. He has beaten Nadal on clay multiple times, and it would have been nice to see him play in the main draw one more time, and the people would have been excited to go out and watch Dominic, whether it's in person or on TV, because Dominic is a beloved player. And I think it would have been good for the tournament. So I think it was a big misstep. I generally think that people enjoy watching great champions play, even if they're past their prime. So I'm always in favor of giving champions wild cards, because maybe something can click and they can turn it on, and all of a sudden they can deliver a spectacular performance. Do you remember Goran Ivanisevic at the 2001 Wimbledon tournament, where his career was in shambles? He was ranked outside the top 100. He had reached the final 3 previous times. He never won Wimbledon, but Wimbledon gave him a wild card. And guess what happened? Ivanisevic won Wimbledon that year off a wild card, and he's not British, he's Croatian. Would Dominic have had a chance to win the French Open just like Goran won Wimbledon? Probably not, but I do think that he deserved to get a wild card, and it would have been good for the tournament to give him one. And when it comes to young players getting wild cards, I don't think it's always in their best interest. Yes, they can get an experience in playing a big tournament that they don't qualify for with their ranking, and maybe win a few matches and catapult their career. That surely can happen. But if the discrepancy in level is too large and they get destroyed in the first round, I don't think young players necessarily benefit from getting wild cards. I think it's much healthier for their development to go through the stages and go through futures, challengers, before finally making it to the ATP Tour. And I do think that Blanche, even though he played well in Miami, probably didn't benefit too much from those wild cards. So guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about wild cards. Do you think it's good when legends of the game get them? Do you think it's good when juniors get them? And of course, share your opinion about Dominic Thiem not getting a wild card for the French Open.